Hello, my most amazing artist. Welcome back to your online art class with Ms. McWirt. Today, we are starting a brand new project, and I'm super excited. This is one of my favorite projects ever, and it is called Faith Ringgold's Story Quilts. But before we even get started into that, you know what time it is. It is time to say our class mantra all together on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. My mantra: I am positive, I am creative, I am mindful, I am amazing, I am an artist. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm so excited. So your goal today is to use the elements of art to draw yourself flying over one of your favorite memories. Okay, that sounds a little bit weird, doesn't it? Drawing yourself flying over one of your favorite memories. Well, let's learn about Faith Ringgold, and we might understand this goal a little bit better. So she was born in 1930. She is 90 years old today. In 10 years, she'll be 100 years old. But guess what? She's still making art to this day. And she was raised in Harlem, New York. And this is where she began her career as a painter. And she's best known for her story quilts. And we're going to make our very own story quilt, which I'm super excited about. She is a real inspiration because she doesn't let anyone tell her what to do in her artwork. She does whatever she wants to do, and she likes to tell stories, and so she decided to create that in her artwork. Okay, and we are going to do the same. So here is one of her story quilts. If you look at the details of it, you can see a bunch of different things going on, okay? I love these because they are so interesting to look at because it looks like a blanket, which it is. It's a quilt. But normally quilts don't have stories on them like this, so that's what makes it pretty interesting. And she uses a lot of elements of art. What elements of art do you see? All right, do you see lines? I see lines. Look at these. Where's my mouse? There it is. Look, this is a curved line on the bridge right here. I see straight horizontal lines. I see straight vertical lines. Here's a diagonal line, so she definitely uses line in her artwork. Do we see shape? Oh, I see a bunch of little squares, all these little windows. Yeah, she uses shape, and the stars are like circles. She uses shapes to create these people down here, and the food, and the clothes. Do you see color? Well, yeah, there's reds. I see the blue sky, yellow buildings, green buildings, all the different colors. Do we see value? Let me look really closely. Value is when you see some shadows and highlights. It makes an artwork look more realistic. And I see a little bit of value in these bushes down here where it's a bit darker. But other than that, her images are pretty flat. That means they don't look three-dimensional. They look more two-dimensional. And that is okay. An artwork doesn't have to look 3D, right? Her artwork is very successful without the addition of value. So far we have lines, shapes, and color. There's no value. And the next one is called form. And we don't see any form because that means something looks three-dimensional. And you know what? I see some value back here. I'm looking really hard. I see some value back here in this bridge, but that's also showing some space because back here it looks darker. So I can tell that this bridge is coming forward, right? Into the foreground almost. Well, it's kind of in the middle ground. But, she also makes landscapes. Well, this is technically a cityscape because of all the buildings, but it's still a picture of the city or the land or something like that. Space is an element of art that we see. And last but not least, do we see texture? Texture is the way something feels or the way something looks like it feels. And I definitely see texture. Down here in these bushes, they look like bushes. They look like how a bush would feel, kind of bushy, right? This bed looks really soft and comfortable, so that's a texture. So she definitely uses texture as well. Up in the sky, she has some writings up here, and I think that goes along with the story of this quilt. And she has people flying in the sky. Look at this guy. He's up on a building. So she is super creative, and she has created a new way of creating art on a quilt that tells a story. Okay? So now that we talked about all those elements of art, I would love it if you please watched this children's book. It's called Tar Beach, and if you notice, she's the one who wrote this book. And she's the one who illustrated it. She wrote this in 1991. And this video is very special because it's her actually reading it to us. So we get to hear her voice and see her personality a little bit more. So this video is very special. You definitely need to watch it. And you need to understand what this book is about because this is one of her stories that she tells in a quilt, okay? So we can take inspiration from her stories and put it into our artwork. After you read this book, we are going to get started, okay? So this week we are going to use all the elements of art, or most of the elements of art anyways, to create an original drawing that tells a story, okay? Are you guys ready? I am super excited. This is going to be so much fun, and you get to be so creative with your artwork for this project, and that's why it's one of my most favorite projects. And this is really going to show who you are as an artist, because you can put so many of your ideas onto the paper, okay? So what we are going to draw, if you remember our goal for the day, we're going to draw ourselves flying over a memory, okay? This could be any memory that you had, but it has to be a happy memory, okay? We don't want to be thinking of sad memories or angry memories. We want to think of a happy memory, one of our most favorite memories that we've ever had. It could be anything. It could be the time that you went to the beach with your whole family. It could be your 7th birthday. It could be when you got a hamster for Christmas or something like that, okay? So any memory that you want to draw, and you're going to draw yourself flying over it, okay? So we need to think about the elements of art while we're drawing today, because we want to fill this whole entire piece of paper with our drawing, okay? We do not want to just do a tiny little drawing in the middle, because let's go and look back at her artwork. Because remember, she's our inspiration, and if you look at her quilts, she uses the entire space is filled with something, okay? So there should not be a space in your artwork where you don't have any color or line or shape, okay? This whole piece of paper needs to be filled up with our elements of art, okay? Line, shape, color, maybe value if you want to add value, form if you want to do that, space, and texture, okay? This is just the beginning of our drawings, so we are probably mainly going to be using lines and shapes today. Maybe space if you wanted to do a landscape, okay? So what you're going to need is, I have a square piece of paper because normally quilts are made out of a bunch of squares, okay? But if you just have a rectangle piece of paper, you can use that, or you could cut it into a square if you want to. But this square is 9 by 9 inches, and you have a few options for what you want to draw with, okay? You could draw with a pencil if you want to, a black crayon, or a black marker, okay? If you do draw in pencil, you're going to have to go over your lines with our black marker so that they stand out a little bit more. But if you do use a pencil, if you make a mistake, you can just erase it. However, if you use a black crayon or a black marker, if you make a mistake, you have two options. You can either flip your paper over and try again on the back, or you can just try to roll with it. Just make your mistake into something new, okay? Don't let it hold you back, all right? It's important to never give up, even when we make a mistake, okay? So just keep going. I am just going to use a black marker today, okay? I'm not even going to mess around with the pencil, because I know that if I make a mistake, it's going to be okay. I'll just turn it into something else. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is, always when you get a new piece of paper, we need to write our name. Okay, Miss M. And if you're in my face-to-face classes, you also need to put your class code, okay? And we all know our class code by now. Okay, after you write your name and your class code, you're just going to flip your paper over, so now your name is on the back, just like that. Okay, now we need to think about one of our favorite memories. Okay, so I have a lot of favorite memories, but I'm going to try to draw the day that I came home and my dad had brought home a little black cat that he found at the Jack in the Box drive-thru. My dad found a little black cat, and I came home because I was going to my college classes that day, and I came home and there was just a random little black cat there. Little did I know that he would become my little tiny baby, and I love him to this day. So that is probably one of my favorite memories, because it's the day that I met my little cat, and his name is Beans, by the way, if you didn't know that. So what I'm going to do is, I need to split my paper up. Okay, this depends on what you're drawing. So my memory is inside. It's inside our old house, okay? If your memory is outside, then you need to think about that too while you're drawing. All right, so I'm just going to start with a line, okay? So every picture or scene has some kind of ground or floor, okay? So this is the floor of my living room at my old house. And I know up here, up at the top of my picture, I'm going to be drawing myself flying over this memory, because in Faith Ringgold's artwork, she has people flying over all of her stories, okay? And she is the main inspiration for this project, so we're going to draw ourselves flying over our memory, kind of like we're remembering this amazing memory that we've had, okay? All right, so I had carpet in that old house. So I'm gonna add some texture here by doing a bunch of little curved lines to show that this floor is carpet and that it feels like carpet, okay? So there, I have a line, we have line, that's an element of art. Now we have texture. I can even add some more all around to make it look even more bumpy like real carpet, okay? So that depends on where your memory is at. Maybe if you're at the ocean, like your favorite memory is the beach, maybe this part is going to be the sand, and then you can draw some water up here, and then you can be flying up through the clouds and the sun and everything. But that totally is up to you, as long as we fill up this whole entire paper with one of our favorite memories. From this edge to this edge, and from the top of our paper to the bottom of our paper should be filled, okay? All right, so also in that room, we had a couch, and that's actually where I found beans when I came home that day. So I'm gonna draw, to the best of my ability, some shapes to make the couch. Okay, and I am using a marker, so if I make a mistake, it's okay. We are gonna color these later, so I can honestly just color over any mistakes that I might make, okay? And if I'm thinking about a couch, it has two parts right here, okay? Doesn't have to be perfect, guys, as long as it's meaningful, as long as it's a meaningful memory to you, okay? So there's my couch, and I'm gonna go ahead and draw my favorite part of this picture, which is going to be Beans himself. Whenever we got him, he was literally like the size of my hands. He was so cute. So what I'm gonna do, he was just laying, well, I'm gonna draw him sitting up so we can see him. He was right on the couch, just staring up at me. He was like, who is this person? And you're like, where am I? Some random guy just came and picked me up. I'm not going to color him in yet because I'm going to color this whole picture with crayon later. I just want to use my marker to add any specific detail for him, like his fur, and any other details that I want to add. Okay, so it doesn't look exactly like him, but I'm not too worried about it, all right? As long as I get the picture and I know that's Beans, so I'm happy with it. Okay, so he was just sitting on the couch when I came home. And honestly, couches have like a fuzzy texture too, so I'm going to give that a fuzzy texture. I think I want to put a pattern on my couch. So I'm just going to draw some lines down. Pattern is a principle of design, and I'm creating a pattern right now just using lines. That's an element of our lines. So far it looks like I have lines, I have shapes, and I have texture. Pretty good. All right. Also, we had a window back here, like a slidey door, so I think I'll draw that too. Remember, we're trying to fill up this whole entire space with something, okay? If your memory's outside, what's on the ground? Is there grass? Is it gravel? Is it rocks? What's up in the sky? Do you have birds in your sky? Clouds? The sun? Is there an airplane going by? Okay, these are all the things that you need to think about while you're drawing today. Think about all the details that you can add. This door is actually looking outside. I'm going to draw a little outdoor scene right here. Okay, so I have the grass. I'm using a zigzag line to draw the grass. I'll put some more grass here. Maybe I want to add a flower that's growing outside. Okay, but I want everybody who's looking at my drawing to know this is a door that's looking outside, okay? And this is glass, so maybe I want to draw some horizontal lines to show that this is glass, okay? That's kind of adding a glassy or mirror kind of texture to my doors right there, okay? So people know when they're looking at this, this is not like a painting or something. They know it's a sliding door, okay? All right, just think about as many details as you can possibly add to your drawing. I think I'm gonna have him saying something. This is kind of like a cartoony, so I can have like a little speech bubble coming up of him saying, meow. All right. And we actually had a little side table next to this couch. I'm just going to draw an oval shape. Make it a little bit more three-dimensional with a rectangle on the bottom of it. And some legs for my table. I'm trying to think if I want to put myself in my memory, like me coming home and finding him on the couch. So I'm just using a pencil now because I don't want to do anything, because I've already worked really hard on this drawing. So I'm going to use a pencil to kind of sketch out where maybe I would be in this picture because I'm not exactly sure. Maybe I'm coming off the page like this. Yeah, so I'm gonna draw myself like it's like I'm walking into the living room, and you're not gonna see my whole body, but it'll just be the back of me right here. All right, so remember when we talked about composition, how we arrange things in an artwork? What I'm doing right now is all about composition, like where do you want things to be placed, okay? So I was just testing out with my pencil, did I like me right here? And I actually did. So I'm gonna draw myself, and this is the back of my head, so you actually see my hair coming down. And I will color that hair later. Okay, and it won't look like I'm balding. It looks like I'm balding a little bit right there, but that's okay. I know I'm gonna color this later so nobody will be able to see that. And what should I be saying? Because I'm gonna give myself a speech bubble too. I think I'm gonna say OMG. You're so cute. Now, just like in Faith Ringgold's artwork, we are going to draw ourselves at the top of our picture, okay? So remember how I asked you to leave some room up here at the top because I knew we were going to draw ourselves flying over our favorite memory, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my head, and you could be flying this way, or you could be flying that way, okay? We don't want to be flying down into our memory, and we don't want to be flying up and away from our memory. You can go to the left, or you can go to the right, okay? And I think I want myself to go to the right, okay? So my head will be over here, okay? And this is going to be a profile view, so it's going to be like my face is facing towards the side. So you would see the side of my nose like that, and you might see my lips a little bit, okay? And I'm going to start drawing my hair, and I have really long hair, so I'll draw that in just a second. I'm going to bring my chin up, and since we're flying, our arms are going to be outwards, okay? So we need to draw our arms coming out in front of our head. All right, and we have 5 fingers, so I'm going to draw 5 fingers. And my other arm is going to come out this way. 5 fingers again. So I have my 2 arms coming outwards away from my head. And now I'm going to draw my body, okay? You can put any outfit that you want on. I think I just want to wear a dress though. Okay, so I'm going to bring it out like I'm wearing a pretty dress. And bring my hair out now. I can pull my hair out. Start drawing my hair coming down. And then my legs are going to come out from the bottom of my outfit. It's just some lines coming out with some shoes on. Just like that, okay? And your outfit can have some pattern on it if you want to. Or it could just be plain. Maybe you want to add pattern whenever we color. Okay, that's totally up to you. Oh, I almost forgot an ear. All right, so now there I am. It kind of looks like me. It's not 100% looks like me, but I know that's me, so I'm happy with it. And once I add color to it, it'll look even more like me than it does already. Now you can just add any other details that you want to. And I think I want to add hearts for my background. Okay, so I'm just going to do hearts all the way in the background. Okay, so this is kind of like the wallpaper in my house, or this isn't really what my wallpaper looks like in my house, but if I could have it my way, all of my houses would have heart wallpaper on it, so that's what I'm gonna do. All right, so I'm just gonna put hearts back there just because I want to. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. I'll be right back to show you what mine looks like. Oh man, my hand kind of hurts from after drawing all of those hearts. But I'm very happy with how my drawing looks because I know that I have so many elements of art in here already. Next time we're going to add color, which is an element of art as well. So I have line, I have shape, I've added texture to make my carpet look fuzzy. I even am showing space because back here it looks like these are really small, so it looks like they're further away, they're outside. And I look a lot closer than Beans looks, right? I'm showing pattern. That's a principle of design. I did hearts back here. I did some stripes. And I have some shapes. I got circles. I got hearts. I got rectangles. So we have added so many elements of art already. I'm also very happy with this drawing because I am filling up the whole space. I went from edge to edge, from side to side, from top to bottom, corner to corner. It is filled with something, okay? And that's how yours should be, all right? So try your best to fill your whole page with your drawing, making sure to leave room for color, because next week we are going to add color to this, all right? I hope you guys had a lot of fun learning about Faith Ringgold and creating your most favorite memory and you flying over it, remembering it, and reminiscing about that memory, all right? I know I had a lot of fun. I feel really great right now because just remembering coming home to my little beans makes me so very happy to think about. All right, guys, I can't wait to see your drawings. I hope you have lots of fun, and I will see you next time.